We are Willem and Anneke from the Mission Trekkers.
Welcome to the podcast Travelling Friends of Oz, where we have a chat to other travellers around Australia about their travels, their tips, experiences, and more.
All right. So we got Sarah and Keelan from Sarah Keelan Travels on today. And we'll see how they got to live their best life, their dream life around Australia, really. Hey, Sarah and Keelan, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Thanks. You?
Oh, we're doing great. Yeah.
Good. We wish we were warm and like sunny skies like you guys, but obviously we're back in Perth and it's a bit cold
degrees
here.
is a bit hot though. I'd rather it be about 30 or 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about who Sarah and Keelan is and where you are now.
So we're in Kununurra and we're just out the back of some property. A lady that messaged us actually on Instagram, she has like is it high camp?
Yeah, hip camp.
Hip camp. So she's got this property at hip camp and then she sort of puts that campsite for sale pretty much per night. I think it's $40 a night. And
it's Airbnb for campsites.
Yeah,
really.
It's amazing. So we're just out the back of Kununurra, a spot called the Eagle's Nest. And yeah, it's an amazing spot. You're overlooking like heaps of boab trees and a big range. And yeah, it's quite nice. So.
And then the other part of that was who we are.
Oh yeah, we've totally questioned.
I used to be a teacher. So I'm a high school outdoor ed teacher and Keelan's a Sparky, so electrician.
Yeah, I just did controls and instrumentation mainly. So yeah, it's a bit different what we're doing now. So but we're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah.
Where are you guys actually from?
Watching.
Where are we from?
Yes.
So I'm from Margaret River originally. I was born there and lived there for the first part of my life and then moved to Bunbury and then went up to Perth to be with Sarah. So I made the 2-hour move to be with Sarah and since then it's just been in Perth. So Sarah's from Coolup, which is the small country town just south of Pinjarra. So
Yep.
That's in WA too, sorry.
Yeah.
Willem works out there. So
I'm an electrician on the rail, so I work between Pinjarra and Harvey.
Oh, cool.
So I know where Coolup is. Yeah, I go there every day.
Yeah. Not many people do it. It's
They're
like,
always like, oh, it's just the BP, hey? I'm like, no.
We were thinking we just got a bit sick of like the daily grind. Like sounds really cliche and I don't really like using cliches, but the rat race and we just sort of ditched that and here we are now. So pretty crazy.
So how did
go a bit more into that. How did you get started?
Yeah.
So originally Sarah created an Instagram. Well, sorry, I should start that. It was a post story to that. So pre-story, Sarah was posting all her traveling stories to her Instagram. And then pretty much she was thinking in her own head, oh, my mates are going to get sick of watching like all my like traveling.
Camping stuff.
Camping stuff. So then we started like obviously Sarah Keelan Travels on Instagram. And then I'm always been a sort of outgoing person. I've never shied away from a challenge. So I thought, you know what, like, let's start a YouTube. I don't think anyone will watch us, but let's just start it. And then it sort of just blossomed. Like we're still very small on YouTube. Like we're nothing compared to a lot of people. Like a lot of people have never heard of us and that's for good reason. We're tiny, but it's just, it's really opened up a lot of avenues for us. And we're so glad we started it. And it's not just taught us how to travel and stuff, but it's also taught us a bit of confidence and how to talk on camera and things like that. It's more public speaking sort of side of it. So we're really happy that we started the whole thing.
And like we never expected it to get to the point where like we're getting a bit of money in our account to fund our travel, like not having to use all of our savings and having that little bit of income has literally helped so much. Like we just didn't even know that YouTube was a thing. Like
and if people would even watch, it's so scary. Like I just remember the first time I made a video, it was just me. And it was the first time I spoke on camera and I looked back on it the other day and it was so funny. Like, it's so funny the self-progress you make. Like, you don't even realize why you're on that path. And then once you get to somewhere you want to be and you're like, oh, like we're doing really great. You look back and then you're like, oh my God, I was terrible. You know what I mean? I actually deleted it because I was so embarrassed. And I was like, this cannot be on the internet anymore. I just deleted it. So,
it shows you growth.
I don't know.
More
That's how
inspiring.
embarrassed I got. But it's crazy when you look back and how things have progressed. So we're so glad we started it. Yeah.
So pretty exciting. You're always sort of camping and doing a bit of day trips and traveling. So
Yeah.
now, how long have you been on the road for?
I think about just over 4 months, but we haven't actually gone very far. We've just gone from Perth to like the tip of WA.
Yeah.
So, which
Well,
is Cudnara. So
the
yeah.
current,
So much to see WA.
yeah, the current situation in Australia really, yeah, we're thinking just going WA anyways for the first probably
6 months. Yeah.
6 months, just cruising through WA and seeing all of it before we actually head to any states or try to head to any states.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many people are doing that. Like we meet so many families and couples on the road, and they've all got the same idea. Come to WA, like it's sort of somewhat safe, the safe state to be in. Safe being lockdown safe, not you're going to catch COVID safe. But yeah, I don't think WA has ever seen this many people touring the state. Like Broome apparently is meant to have 40,000 this time of the year. This year we had 80,000. Like it's just insane. They've had to open up a lot of free camps and a lot of overflow camping and stuff just to accommodate all these people. But good on you, Zay. Like more the merrier. Like it's a big state. We can fit you all in well and truly, so don't worry about it.
There's enough space. It's just the manpower behind the facilities.
Might end up out at Meekatharra, but there's space for you, you know.
Yeah. Awesome. So your travel setup that you have now, was that the get-go setup, or have you sort of progressed from the start?
I'll let Sarah take.
So we originally had a rooftop tent. We just had the King's like pop-up rooftop tent. And then we went to Warra Station for 2 weeks, and it was so windy, and we were like, nah, we can't do Australia in this. Like it was horrible. We ended up leaving Warra early because we were just like, this is fucked.
Because what originally happened though, we had a swag, and then we thought the swag would be like inferior to the rooftop. Then we went to the rooftop, and these were all like 2 week, 3 week transitions. Like we just sold the swag, rooftop, all right, and then we're just like looking at this trip, and we were thinking, oh yeah, we could probably do it in a rooftop, but it'd have to be one of them LU cab like troopy conversion ones that are easy to pull down and stuff. And then Sarah just said like, why don't we just get a caravan? And I was like,
if we want to do this for a long time, like, why don't we originally were looking at like little camper vans, like cheaper than what we ended up getting. And then we started looking at this, and we're like, oh, there's a shower, a toilet. Like, imagine not having to go outside and wee at nighttime. And then we were just sold. Like, it was just the comfort. Yeah,
but saying that, our setup is very conservative compared to some of the setups you see on the road. Like ours is like very small and tight, and there's adequate storage, but like as soon as you get something, the grass is always greener. So for you guys, if anyone's even listening to this, like out there, like don't think that you're going to just get a setup and just be happy with it. Never happens. You're always looking for like greener grass. So don't ever, and the other thing is don't feel like you're always going to be envious of other people's setups. A lot of people say, oh, we wish we had this, but we're wishing we had something else. So it's just a perspective thing. Don't get down in the dumps because you can't get what you want because someone's admiring your setup that you currently got. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, true.
Well, what's your favorite or your special item in the setup that you like the most?
Oh, it'd have to be the bed because it takes up 3/4 of the bloody thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we've got, like,
is it a good bed?
Yeah, it's a huge king bed.
That's good.
Mattress. It's so comfortable. They had a lot of issues, this company, with the mattresses early on, and they had copped a lot of flack because they weren't very comfortable. So I think they went out and just said, bug it, we're going to get the biggest, most comfortable thing ever. And they just whacked it in, and it's amazing. But we could have done with a little bit smaller bed and a little bit more storage, I reckon. It's like ridiculous. Like Sarah can be on one side of the bed and she's almost in bloody NT and I'm in WA. Like massive, eh? We could quarantine against each other. You wouldn't get
right.
Bed, you know what I mean?
That's a good sized bed.
Well, for the people who don't follow you, I know that you have walkthrough and everything of your setup and stuff, but maybe you can just give us some details on the podcast of what your actual setup is, like what's your car and your caravan. And
I'm going to do that.
You do the car, I'll do the caravan.
All right. So the car is just a 2011 Toyota Prado. It's a 150 series. It's a turbo diesel 3-litre. It's before the DPF, so before they put all the emission standards in. It's still got EGR. It's just got a 3-inch lift. Well, it's lifted 3 inches and 33-inch tyres and just your basic mods like bull bar, roof rack, snorkel, all that stuff. There's a fair few other mods. I'd be here all day, but they're just the
Just your
basics.
basic ones.
Yeah. And then, do you want to do the
And
caravan?
then our caravan is 11-foot hybrid off-road caravan. So it folds out at the back. So it makes it 15-foot, I think.
Okay.
So when you first go in, the bed's in half. You fold out the back, then the bed flips over, and then you pop it up. It's got like drawers, shower, toilet.
All inside, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much got everything a caravan would have, but like all compacted into a little 11-foot van. Like people step in here and they're like, what the hell? How do you guys have all this stuff in here?
Yeah.
Like, how did they fit that in 11 foot?
It's also got like creature comforts like electric awning, electric step, of course it's electric aircon. So stuff like that. They've done a pretty good job to fit a lot of stuff in such a small space, which is what we love. But like I said before, we're always looking for that next best thing now. You know, we'd love a seating area. That's something that we really want.
Right now we're just sitting on the bed. There's
Yeah.
not really anywhere to sit, so
But you got a good off-grid system when you go a little bit off track?
Yeah, so we've got 300 watts of solar on the roof, 200 litres of water, roughly, fresh water underneath. And we also got a grey water that we don't really use. And we wish we converted that 90 litres into another freshwater tank, which would tick it up to about 300 litres, just shy. And then we've got 240 amp hours of iTech World lithium battery underneath the bed. So for an 11-foot van, that's like a fair bit of lithium, which is what we wanted because we got to charge all our camera gear. Like yesterday, for instance, I left the inverter on all day with all our charging stuff going. And I was thinking every hour I was drawing 20 amp hours out of the battery, like by accident. I didn't mean to leave it on. Plus the fridge is 8 amp hours. So it was almost 30 amp hours all day. Came back and we still had heaps of power. So
that was a good test.
So,
An on purpose accidental test.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 100%. But no, we got enough, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, awesome.
Tell us a little bit about some destinations that you've been to that's been like your most memorable. I know this is a hard one for people, but
oh, it's so hard because it's just they all blend.
Yeah.
Come on. I know what she's going to say last week because the memory's shot.
Yeah, so bad. I was going to go with... No, actually, I won't take that one because you'll take that. I am going to say the Gibb River Road. I know, because that was the last
week. That's 650 Ks of a location, though.
Yeah, Gibb River Road is a location. Let's just say that.
All right, name one spot that you'd recommend. Sorry, I'm taking over the podcast.
That's
good. On the spot.
My favorite was probably Galvin's Gorge because it was like a smaller one that's not really that well known. But when you walked in there, it was like this beautiful, perfect swimming hole, this waterfall that was like trickling down the gorge. And then all over the sides of the gorge was like all this greenery. And then this beautiful boab right at the top. It was just like this picture perfect little place.
But
I love the detail. I'm closing my eyes and I'm like imagining this place. It's so good.
All right. Subconsciously, the reason why it's Sarah's favorite and my favorite is because we're so lazy and it was only 500 meters.
Oh, that makes it even better.
A lot of the gorges, you got to trek like 10 Ks, but it's beautiful when you get there, but it's just like, holy crap, I'm hot. And then you get back to the car and you're not refreshed, you know what I mean? So this one was pretty good. You were still wet when you got back to the car, which was pretty awesome. I reckon my favorite spot would have to be Warra Station, which is just probably 30 kilometers south of Coral Bay. It's amazing, It's a great spot. Beach camping, surfing. When I say beach camping, it's literally like right on the beach. A lot of people use the word beach camping as like a very loose phrase.
View of the beach.
Yeah. So this is like on the beach sort of thing. Awesome. It's really cool. Yeah.
Do you guys do a lot of like free hip camping, like, you know, low cost camping and like rarely any caravan parks?
We try and do like mainly free camps or like real low cost, so like $15 a night majority of the time. And then it'd probably be every 10-ish days that we like take ourselves to a caravan park, plug into power, have the longest shower that we want, wash our hair, wash our clothes. Like,
you got to wear thongs, but that sucks. Wearing thongs in the shower. You get to one of your mates' house in a suburb and you're like, oh my God, I don't have to wear thongs.
Get the toes out.
But saying that, we don't have to plug in. We just do it because one, it's good for working. Like we'll be able to have the aircon running flat stick, especially up in the Kimberley. Like it's really hot, even though it's not the wet season. So we get the aircon cranking and we sit down and we can just be in our own little bubble, you know,
We
just for a
kind
few
of
days.
use caravan parks as our lazy day, like just sit in the caravan and not
like your weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Like a weekend.
Yeah. So it's sort of like you break from holidaying.
Oh, this sounds like poor us. Get the violins out,
It's a hard life, eh?
I think it's like it's no more like first world country. I don't know what kind of country you guys are. Like you're just like I don't know, King's country or something.
Yeah, pretty lucky. But no, caravan parks aren't really for us. But we love going there when we need to. You know what I mean? But I think if we spent a lot of times in a caravan park, we wouldn't enjoy the trip as much. The whole reason we've left our 9 to 5 is to like hunt these really nice places where no one can really get to. And hence the setup and hence like the whole setup, whether it be like our brand, Sarah Keelan Travels, and the setup, like it all pretty much indicates that we don't like being in caravan parks. So,
yeah. I do think like the caravan parks usually are away. It's more like the city and the towns and stuff. It's probably more away from the remote, beautiful areas that, you know, seem untouched and gorgeous.
Yeah.
There is some caravan parks where like you can have space and like it is really beautiful. Like 80 Mile Beach, that was amazing. But then there's other ones that you're just like on top of each other. And
Last night we stayed at Lake Argyle. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Lake Argyle. Even sort of foreign listeners will know Lake Argyle because of their pink diamonds. And 80% of the world's pink diamonds come from Lake Argyle. The biggest being $94 million worth. So
it's crazy.
It's insane. But that caravan park is literally so spacious. The grass is so green because they've got so much water available. They just pump it straight out of Lake Argyle. They said they have like 21 Sydney harbours of water in Lake Argyle. So but that sort of spot is just immaculate. You forget you're in a caravan park. But one thing we haven't touched on is the reason also we don't go to caravan parks is because in WA, they're $40 plus per night. So like they can be up to 50 and 60. Coral Bay, I think 70. Like
it's ridiculous.
It's too much money for us. And because the whole purpose of us leaving and hence the reason we make a little bit of money. But if we start staying at caravan parks, that little bit of income we're making off YouTube and these streams will just dry up super quick. So we've sort of got to be savvy in a way and really stretch it out, which sucks because we just want to blow it on tours and like bar food and all this stuff, you know?
Yeah, true. It'll get there. You guys are doing good.
Maybe one day. It's not all about that, but yeah, it is nice, you know?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a beach over bush kind of feel that I get from you, or you prefer the bush more?
Yeah, I haven't surfed
Margaret River, like from a surfing town, like seriously.
Yeah, I haven't surfed in a month, and I get like real crabby. Like I get like real like sensitive. Like anything can tick me off. So if I snap, it's because of that. All right.
Oh, he's gonna have a mental breakdown on camera.
Imagine that.
Oh no.
You've talked a little bit about like the places that you've been, but I know you guys have experienced some awesome experiences, like with the likes of people who are big in the YouTube, world and the TV show world and all that kind of stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about that experiences?
So what experiences are you referring to?
The 4-wheel drive experiences.
So you've been on the 4-wheel drive shows, the adventure show, like you guys shot some content with them?
With Ronnie Dahl and stuff.
Yeah.
And Chris.
And Chris Woods, yeah. So
how was that?
So the whole reason that we've sort of become affiliates with iTech World was actually through like knowing people, which is sort of an underrated thing these days. It's sort of not what you know, it's who you know. So we went on Ronnie Dahl's modified episode, which is also airing maybe this week, maybe next week. I can't remember what day it is. But it's airing in the modified episode. And his film actually, his family business runs the adventure shows. Anyway, Chris Woods knows a lot of people, and he actually put us in touch with iTech World and said pretty much this couple is going to be, like perfect advocates for you guys. So that's sort of how we got with the iTech World thing. So I guess all these experiences with these high up people on TV and YouTube and stuff, like, they all have little connections and butterfly effect, if you will. Like you'll go there and then 6 months down the line, you'll get an opportunity from it. It's just like such a spin
That's
out, you know,
awesome.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good stuff.
But these people too are so humble though. Like they can not be humble, and they are so humble. So you've got to remember, you know, where you come from and stuff. And
well, when you first met, like he first met Chris, he didn't even know who he was or that he, you know,
ran the adventure
shows. It wasn't until the end of the day that he let that one slide. So
Yeah.
and Ronnie too. Like he's got 400,000 subs on YouTube, and that's not something to, you know, shy away from. That's a lot of hard work and many years. And yet he just like talking to, you know, anyone. Like he's so humble. He's such a good bloke.
I love that. Yeah, because you do get some people who they just don't even.
But the travel community is just so awesome. I just love how the traveling community just sort of helps each other out and sticks by you, you know.
Everyone's so supportive. Like everyone's willing to help each other out. Like it is such a nice community. I'm surprised.
And saying that in the caravan parks too, like we've noticed it's so like out in the real world, like working city rat race world, like a lot of people, if you had a flat tire on the side of the road, no one will help you. Thousands of cars will drive past you. If you're out here and you have a flat tire, everyone will stop. It's almost annoying. Like we're pulling over for a piss.
You're right, guys.
People are like, "You're all right, mate." Like, "You're all right, mate." We're like,
I'm like squatting by the car, like,
you know what I mean? Like, it's just so nice. People are just so nice. And if you're under the car, like tinkering around, fixing stuff, or whatever you're doing, people come over and see what you're doing and like give you their 2 cents worth, even if you don't want it. You know what I mean? So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's so true. Like here, like in normal life, we don't even know our neighbors all the time, you know, like they're just next door and you don't even know if they're going through something or anything because you're just out the door to your work, come back and then you're in your house again and that's life. So it's a whole new perspective, I think, that people get when they go traveling and they see a bit of the outside and they see other people enjoying themselves, I guess, and not just
that opens your eyes.
hustling.
On that topic too, like a bit of a silver lining here, half glass full, but COVID, like I've never been asked if we're all right that many times in my whole life, you know what I mean? Constantly people are checking up on people just because of the current pandemic, and like I don't think there's ever been a bigger time in humanity than right now. Like obviously we're going through some unprecedented times, yet everyone just asks everyone how they're going in their state, you know, and everyone's checking in on everyone, doesn't matter where you live. So I think that's unprecedented too. I've never seen anything like it, you know.
Except for Mark, he's just locking everyone out.
Mark. Yeah, no jab, no fly, mate.
No, get out.
It's not normally part of the questions, but I'm trying to throw it in more and more.
For sure.
The cooking, what's your favorite dish or your go-to dish when you're out there?
Tacos.
I reckon tacos / burritos, because like it really it's easy and
we're obsessed with Mexican. It's so just the spices of it just take, like, you know them foods you're just like, oh, I could never get sick of this.
We
definitely don't shy away from good food while we're traveling. Like heaps of people like, oh, like what do you eat? I'm like, same as what we ate when we're at home. Like we've got a kitchen, like we're not going to change the way we eat. Like we're foodies, so we make sure that dinner's always good.
And saying that, Sarah does most of the cooking, like unless we're cooking fish or something like that, I take over. But the thing is, when we've been traveling, I haven't been sick. This is the longest time I haven't been sick, and I put it straight down to my immune system. 1, being in the heat. 2, eating really good food. And 3, you have to drink a ton of water or you just get a headache. So them 3 things, I think traveling is so good for you, you know. And
we have seen some people and what they're eating on the road. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But like some people definitely do like go the easy route. Like go either way.
Like snags in bread. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like I froth a Bunnings snag. Like don't get me wrong, but
it's like every day.
You get sick of it. But like we said, Mexican's one of them foods where you just don't get sick of it.
Yeah, but you're 100% right about the fresh air, the vitamin D.
Vitamin D you
get
mental
from the
health.
sun.
I think your mental health is such a big deal with it as well. Because if you put your body under
the less stress it's out there in the big world, you know.
Oh my God, like having no stress, like before I left for this trip, like I was stressing about work all the time. Like I'd go to work stressed, I'd come home stressed, and now it's just like, oh, like there's just not that like anxious feeling at all. Like it's so nice.
But saying that, it comes back down to perspective. So like our
100%.
stresses of life are like, oh, I gotta go get another beer. Like, like you know what I mean? Like they become your new issues, and like your old issues are replaced by new issues. But like I said, it's like cry me a river. I've got to clean the van.
Empty the toilet.
Yeah, well, that's not my job. But
what side of the
like
evil do you want?
Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just perspective. Your issues change pretty quick to like really easy ones. But
Very good.
But saying that, we're going to struggle going back to work, like really badly.
So is that the idea? So how long do you still want to travel for? And then do you need to go back to work?
So
it's a touchy subject because technically I've taken a year of unpaid leave. So with my permanency, I think I can take up to 3 years. So essentially we want to keep traveling if our money lasts. So it's up in the air, like whether we get to that point and I just say to my work, like, hey, what's the chances of me extending this? Let's hope no one from my work watches this. But we want to keep traveling. Like we sort of want to kind of make this our full-time jobs, really.
And like little things are falling into place that will make it our full-time job. Like there's a few things we can't really talk about, but they're just too early on to even comment on. But there's things happening in the backgrounds that are going to make it more professional and more of a full-time job. That's for sure. But saying that, we sort of budgeted and saved really hard to do this trip. So even without the small like streams of income that we do receive from our socials, like we still would be fine regardless if we had them or not. We'd still do a couple years without working, but just with them sort of like, I don't know, stimulating our account coming in every month, like it's just
let's just do like other stuff. I think if we were just doing it on our savings, we probably wouldn't lash out for like a whale shark tour or like we wouldn't have gone and done the Lake Argyle tour. Like we would have budgeted. So I think like having YouTube income, like it just
among
helps
other
us.
incomes. Yeah. But saying that, there's no end date with the money. I don't think. I think that the money will last just because we're sort of self-sufficient and we're only 4 months in, sort of thing. So
really, you just go back because there's people relying on you to come back.
Yeah, that's right. But bugger them.
I 100%. I'm for that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your happiness overall that's the most important, and so don't apologize if you disappoint other people because you're not there to make them happy. You're there to make you happy. So do whatever makes you happy and go on with your life.
Yeah. And saying that, Sarah's like really talented at her job and I reckon she could get a job anywhere if she needed to, you know what I mean? So like for her, it doesn't really matter. And for me, I'm a Sparky. Like the company I work for, NRP Electrical, they're pretty much a family run business. And if you look after them, they look after you. So I've looked after them for the last, few years and I've done whatever they want me to do. I've never said no and put my foot down or anything. So they'll have me back as well when I get home. So I'm pretty lucky to have that position as well. So who
knows? We might get over east and decide that we want to stay there and get jobs there. So we just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I might take Gladys, what's her name? Gladys's job, I reckon I could run New South Wales pretty well.
I reckon.
Imagine me as the Premier, I'd be like, Premiers. That'd be classic.
So what is next for you guys? Are you just staying within WA or are you hoping to go over east?
Well, we were meant to cross over to Northern Territory like this week. But with the recent outbreak, we've decided that because we have to be back down in Margaret River at the end of September for my best friend's weddings, we're just thinking like, it's probably not worth risking crossing over a border, getting stuck there or having to back in quarantine. Like, we'll just stay in WA, go back down the coast, see the places that we missed, and then go to Margaret River, do all the weddings, and then probably South Coast.
Yeah, so
South
it's all
Australia.
everyone sort of times their like cycle. It's almost like all the travelers are like migrating at the same time. It's like a migration cycle.
Following
so
the
like,
sun.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Like, so it'll all depend on the weather, but we should get going before Christmas, which will make it perfect for the South Coast, nice and warm. So we'll probably
Yeah.
be there by the end of the year, and then who knows? We might go up the middle, or we might keep going around the other side. We don't know yet, but all I know is I want to do a few laps just because you can't see everything. And people that are planning their laps need to remember that you can't see everything. So I don't think that you will be able to. So yeah.
You need more than a year.
Definitely.
Australia is massive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We've just been in WA for 4 months. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've spoken a lot about tips and stuff for people, but do you have any more tips for anyone who's
Looking at doing this, what are you doing?
Okay.
I would say my main one is like looking at other people's setups and thinking that's what you need to have because that's what everyone else our age is doing it in. Like you see like a lot of troopies, rooftop tent swags because for the younger generation. But like if you're looking at that and thinking I can't live in a rooftop tent, don't live in a rooftop tent because you won't last. Like that was our whole thing about getting a little caravan was we realized we're not going to last. And like we would have gone on this trip, we probably would have lasted maybe 6 months and then been like, oh, this is crap, let's go home.
Yeah.
So like get what you need. I don't know.
For sure.
What about yours?
That you sort of stole mine, but a tip would be like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of tips. The only thing that's come to mind is like if you're sick of your 9 to 5, just like buy whatever you want. Any setup, like doesn't matter if you're so sick of your job, and especially like given the current climate and COVID and stuff, a lot of people are having a pretty hard time with things like mental health and stuff. And hitting the road, even if it is by yourself, you know, you'll never look back. You'll learn things and
you'll make so many friends.
Yeah.
Like, don't be scared.
And
Just do it.
and it'll make your life so much better if you are sick of your current state.
Situation.
Yeah, so definitely travel Australia, especially if you're young too, and you don't need a lot of money. Like you can free camp around as much as you want, and it doesn't cost much. And and that too. Yeah, different change of scenery. So if you are struggling, just buy something, buy a swag, buy whatever you can afford or want, and hit the road. I reckon. So.
And all the stations and caravan parks everywhere we've gone, they're looking for people to work. Like one of our mates was in Broome, walked into the first bottle shop there and said, "Oh, do you need any workers?" and got a job. So like that's how easy it is if you want to do a bit of work.
That's Broome, double population of what it normally is. Yes. So it's crazy at the moment out here. It's crazy.
Amazing.
Awesome. Now, this is your opportunity to drop your socials. Tell everyone what your socials are. And if you have any codes, just drop that as well. Why not?
So on Instagram, it's just, actually, I'll let you do that one.
Oh, it's just Sarah Keelan .travels.
I would have stuffed it up. And then on YouTube, it's Sarah and Keelan Travels. And we have not many subs, but if you want to come follow us, definitely do that. We try to keep the videos nice and interesting and entertaining, and we don't like being like anyone else. We like being a little bit quirky and stuff, which sometimes bites us in the ass, but sometimes it pays off. So if you're into that sort of thing, come and give us a follow, or if not, don't worry about it. No pressure.
All good. It's all good.
So do you want us to follow you or not?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, follow us. But if you don't, then no. Yeah. We just don't take it too seriously, and that's our whole thing. We're just cruising, and whatever happens. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're loving it though. We're living the dream. So come follow the dream.
All right.
That's awesome, guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for taking the time today to chat to us.
You're right.
It's been great.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for listening to another awesome episode of Traveling Friends of Ours. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know how much you like the podcast by rating it in order to help it reach more listeners across Australia. The podcast is a non-for-profit, so we appreciate all the support.
Please also share the podcast on your socials by tagging Traveling Friends of Oz, as we are on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. These links are in the description below, and remember to subscribe as there are many more stories yet to be told.
Travelers listening to this, if you want to be featured on the podcast, get in contact with us. We would love to share your story with other traveling friends of ours.